share my own version of the story. When I saw the group that wrote this, the Abia Concerned Youth Forum, I knew it was a baseless story, as it were, because this same group earlier in the year had been engaging in media war. The other one, they wrote all sorts of rubbish about my person. But in any case, it's important I strengthen some of these issues. Lloydant Business Services was engaged by Abia State government through the then rector of Abia Poly as of 2015, precisely June, at the 2nd, 2015. And then if the engagement dated that June, it means also that their first contact should have been maybe 4 months or 3 months before June, because IT deployment doesn't just happen in a day. So if that date is anything to go by, it suggests that I was still a staff of First Bank as at the period Lloydant was engaged in Abia Poly. And then it's not logical that I will still be in Enugu as a banker. Then TA was in charge, possibly as a governor, because like I told you, that it is dated June, does not suggest that that is the date their engagement started. And then I'll be the person to introduce a consultant and superimpose it on that institution. It's also important, the caliber of person who was there then, our erudite professor, Ikone. He's not somebody you toil around with. So to that extent, I don't have any business interest with Lloydant. Their company was incorporated in 2012. The details are here. The directors are very clear. The process of identifying who is involved in a company is very clear. So the insinuation shouldn't arise. It shouldn't be anything of any sort. You go to CAC, you confirm. The names there, are they pseudonyms? No. The names exist. They have 4 directors, and the 4 directors work in the same company. So I don't have any business interest here. But of course, this company, from what we have seen so far, have done fantastically well for the state and for these institutions. Our professor left Abia Poly and moved to ABSU, and also found it worthy to introduce them to ABSU because he saw the dividends of his engagement in Abia Poly, where the figures went up, where the IT infrastructure was well strengthened. And today, in Abia State University, we are doing so well in those collections. And today, we are also rated among the schools that have the most robust IT, to the extent that students can interface with their platform every now and then, 24 hours, without any interruption. So to that extent, that answers your question. I don't have any business interest. The only crime committed by Lloydant Business Group is because his address is Enugu. He's based in Enugu. I'm in TMT, and I, Obinna Oriaku, resides in Enugu. So that is the insinuation. Apparently, because the address is in Enugu, I stay in Enugu. Obinna has interest. I don't have any single interest. And you cannot build something on nothing. There's no way as a banker in Enugu, I will now come here and introduce a vendor to the institution and maybe start spelling out my interest. It's not done. It's not logical. So whoever is saying that is just saying it just to satisfy his own intentions or to run down my image, which they cannot succeed in doing that. I told you that I know this particular group. This is the 4th publication they're doing against me and my person. So I strongly feel that it's highly political, and I know the people behind it. They've also not hidden their faces on this, and they know their predetermined end. Just run him down. And of course, if after 4 years of being a commissioner for finance, all we could trace to me is engaging a vendor for Abia State University and Abia Poly, which of course I never did, then you need to also know that Obinna is above board. Because for them to have gone this low suggests that they didn't see any other thing tangible. If we had seen something tangible incriminating, they would have published it. For them to now start insinuating because a young man is doing well and he's friendly with you and he stays in Enugu, and of course, they're also aware that the man, because it's very logical, call Abia Poly, find out when they were engaged Lloydant, find out when I came here as a commissioner, even as a special advisor economic affairs. Does it tally? If he doesn't tell you, forget about it. But then, it's purely political, and I'm sure that the aim of the people who went to publish this will be defeated, because we can prove this very, very well, that there's no correlation, there's no relationship between Obinna and the MD of Lloydant Business. The problem we also have, like I stated before now, is that most people don't even know the services of a vendor to a school. If you are a vendor to Abia Poly, what are the expectations? What are those products you are selling? They believe, when you see them, when they talk about, he's the consultant, they think the consultant is the IGR consultant, where you place demand notice, you go and collect fees on behalf of the state and credit the state account or put in your pocket. No. If you are a vendor to an institution, there are a lot of expectations. First, you have to have your IT infrastructure intact. Because before now, student school fees were paid manually. And this was prone to fraud. This was prone to manipulation. You see people go through a school without paying school fees. But when you automate the process, it means that from the period, the initial period of even applying for the school, your data is in, your information is in database. Unlike before, we were using scratch card to check result. Now, no, you now go to the school portal, check your result online. You also pay. You now, when you go for post-CMU, just like that going now, you also go to the school portal and pay and get your code number to write for the post-CMU. The result is out. You go there and check. Now, not only all these things, what it now means is that no student can go through the university without paying school fees, unlike what was operational before. And how do they do this? They have a robust IT. The bandwidth must be big enough. They also make sure that they are online 24 hours. And then, because students interface with this IT platform every now and then, and there's no limit to the number of people that can be online to check their results, online to register courses and all whatnot. But let me run down what a vendor in a school does. This vendor does online sale of forms and admission applications. They do admission screening. They also do online session registration. They also do electronic fees charge payment. They also online course registration. They also into online result checking. You check your result online. Then you also have Wi-Fi provision. If you go to Abia Poly now, you have a Wi-Fi deployed there. Over 100 million was used to deploy Wi-Fi so that students can move in with their laptop, with their phone, and access information anywhere. It's a global village. This is the value addition this company brought to what we are doing before now. Like I told you before now, during exams, the bursar and some management of schools will be going around the school with a police officer and be asking manually, how much do you have there? How much have you paid? Let me see. The man will give him 30,000 and put in his pocket. It was happening in Abia Poly. But today, there's no room for that because everything is automated. And if it's automated, it discourages fraud. It brings about transparency, which is what this administration has been known for. Unless those kicking against this want us to go back to Egypt, where we start collecting one naira manually. And when I give you the figures, from the time we took this engagement and now, you find out that we have made tremendous progress in what we are doing. That is as it affects the vendor. The vendor has done well, the vendor has the capacity, and they are highly rated in the industry. It's also instructive to note that this vendor is not a mushroom vendor. This vendor currently is at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Federal University. They are at Nekede. They are at Futo. They are at Federal Poly, Ilaro. I mean, for a company that has this kind of business, it's scattered all over Nigeria, Abia Poly and ABSU cannot be bigger than some of these institutions I just mentioned. They are at Ebonyi State University. You can verify these things. So what is the news about Abia? Well, for me, I don't go about looking for such negative way of running down your brothers or your relations or even your competitors. For them, I I will still tell them to please look for another ways to ventilate their anger in the system. If they feel aggrieved, instead of resorting to this way, it has never helped anybody and it's not going to help anybody. For purposes of clarity, because I have explained the functions of a vendor, because most of them who even are part of this system never went to school. So they never knew, they don't even know what a vendor means. I mean, do we throw away what is good because you allege Obinna is friendly with the vendor? Or Obinna, I mean, so I don't know how they want it done. I have explained it. The vendor, if you see him, you also like him. He's a young man like you and me, who is working hard. And I never introduced him to the state. He was here before I came. What I only did was I saw the beauty in what he's doing. As somebody who is focused and who is dedicated in changing the narrative of Abia State, we tried to make sure that he goes around the state. When we started around the institution, he refused to go to School of Health because the population is so small that he doesn't want it, deploying IT without accruing income coming from it. But we had to impress it on him. Since you're in Abia Poly, you must go to School of Health. And the dividends are showing here. So that is as it affects what Lloydant has done for the state. And then the benefits are this very actual. You can go and take these figures I've given you to the bank, tax the schools and confirm if these figures are real. Now, if we have this kind of collection, the next stage is how do we now manage these funds? That's the sense. This is online. These figures are online. So you don't lie about it. I cannot tax School of Health. Since June this year, you have collected 204 million. Why are you owing salaries? Are you saying that you're only using half of this for overhead? What constitutes overhead? This should be the question any concerned person should be asking. Now, you come to ABSU. It's instructive to note that also, as a state, we have some outstanding obligations in Abia State University, ranging number of months. And their wage bill is 272 million. And they've been consistent with salaries, except for 2 months of that is outstanding. Where is it coming from? Is it not from the collection from the portal? Do they get any grants for salaries? So when people talk just because you want to run down your brother, you need to be logical about it. Has Lloydant added value to what we are doing in Abia State? Yes. The charges, are they competitive? Yes. Because I know at Nsoka today, admission is ongoing. Go and find out. Just to pay is 10,000. But all you pay in Abia State University for this online stuff is 3,006. So who is talking about 8,000 and 3,000? And I also will advise that for proper details, for proper cost, please meet the bosses of these institutions. What has betrayed me is my quest and my interest in changing the narrative of Abia State. But those who feel that every seat you occupy is meant to enrich yourself negatively, that is what they are alleging. You see, if you go and look at all those people who are against me, majority of them are there just because maybe you don't play ball. And I have what I will call Obinna challenge. You can Google it, Obinna Oriaku's challenge. Go and ask anybody for 4 years as Commissioner for Finance. Ask any contractor. Ask anybody that comes, even as somebody who took pension, somebody who took gratuity. Can you state, is there anybody that will tell you that he was paid because Obinna Oriaku agreed to share 0.1% with him? It's a sacrifice I decided to make when I came in here. And I thank God for 4 years, I made sure that I didn't deviate from it. Go and ask, even those people who are against me, who don't like the shape of my face, go and ask from contractors to people who have been paid overhead, even to people who were paid gratuity. Is there anybody that will tell you that I was able to be paid today because we had an understanding of 0.5% or 0.1%? Once I'm paid, I'll return it to him. I don't do that, and I make bold to say it. So nobody can accuse me of financial irregularity. In this state, it goes with a lot of sacrifice. And I know what I've lost in doing it, and nobody will take it away from me. So when you see them, they are blocking you, that he's blocking, it's because I don't play ball. I don't play ball. You can't come and tell me, let us bring this 50 million, I'll give you 20. Nobody has ever done it. If there's anybody, let him come out open. I challenge you media online people, challenge them that I have an uncle who is a contractor. He was supposed to be paid 150 million, but Obinna Oriaku had an understanding with him that he paid 0.5%, and that was why he was paid, and he gave him the money. Let the person come out. Well, I may not have to talk for them. What I suggest is that you are free, you know them, and you can walk up to them. You can put a call across to them. The last person you spoke to here is the boss of School of Health, and you heard her very well when she was telling you that she alluded to the fact that the presence of Lloydant has helped the institution, not only by mere word of mouth. From the figures you are seeing here, from 29 million to 204 million, how else do you show that you love your state? Is it not by introducing good things that will work? Assuming I'm the one that introduced Lloydant. Or do we yank him up because he stays in Enugu and Obinna Oriaku stays in Enugu too? We should go beyond that. We don't need to get to the corporate level with these guys.